The channel, y'all. Happy New Year, and with 2024 in the bags, these are my top 5 favorite films of 2024. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Let's go! Now, I'm going to start off with this video saying, I'm not going to lie, 2024 was a pretty good year for movies, especially for horror films. But if you haven't seen that video, go check that previous video out, my top 10 favorite horror films. And it was very, very hard to narrow down my top 5 best 2024 movies, and coming in at number 5 would have to be Dune 2. This movie was actually supposed to come out in 2023, but with all the COVID stuff, it got pushed back until 2024. It came out earlier in the year, and this was one of the best sequels that I've probably ever seen in my life. Dune has to be one of the best looking films of all time. Just what they do with, obviously, the tribe and the desert and the sandworms. Timothée Chalamet was fantastic in this movie. He should definitely be nominated. If not for this movie, definitely in A Complete Unknown. And let's not forget about Austin Butler's character. I forget what his name is, but literally what they did with him, fantastic. I love the black and gray scenes that they did in this movie. And in my opinion, I think that Austin Butler's character is going to go down in history as one of the best villains of all time. If you haven't checked out Dune 2, definitely go check out the first one and then see this one. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with the third film. Number 4. Now, if you guys knew me on a personal level, I like all kinds of movies, but I'm not really too fond of the musical genre. So once I found out that Wicked was coming to theaters, I had no idea what it was about. All I know that it was based off of, obviously, The Wizard of Oz and whatnot. And boy, thank God I seen it, because this movie was absolutely fantastic. It would be higher on my list if these other films didn't exist, but this movie was awesome. The colors, the set designs, the acting, it was just on point. The songs, oh my God, was out here hitting a man in the feels. Cynthia as the Wicked Witch of the West and Ariana Grande as Glenda. I think both of them are definitely going to get nominated at the Oscars. It was just such a bubbly movie. I don't even know how to explain it. You have to watch Wicked if you are a fan of musicals. Even if you're not a fan of musicals, go see this movie. Trust me, especially if you know the Wizard of Oz backstory and everything. Part one is fantastic, and I think part 2 comes out this year, later in the year. So I'm super stoked about that. I cannot wait. Now, they do have some CGI in this film, but from my understanding, most of the sets you see, they actually built those, and it adds more depth to the movie in a sense. You don't get that weird outline background from our characters because you know CGI screen, and that's what I liked a lot. Guys, Wicked came out of left field for me. I wasn't even going to see this movie. I thought it was going to be really bad, but so glad that I did. Go check it out. At number 3, since I've seen this film, I've been talking about it nonstop. We got Nosferatu, and if you haven't seen my review on this one, go check it out on my page. We go a little bit more in depth on that, but this movie was an absolute masterpiece. This definitely has in the bags for best cinematography. Lily Rose Depp is definitely going to win Actress of the Year. Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok was unrecognizable, and his voice just made the hairs on your neck stand up. Go into this film expecting it to be a love story and not a horror film. I would say, in my eyes, it's more of a love story with horror elements. For all those naysayers saying that, oh, it's not a horror film, it wasn't scary, I think you went into the film with the wrong mindset. And Robert Eggers literally knocks it out of the park with every single film he makes. And this film literally proves he's the best horror director, if not one of the best directors working today. All right, number 2. We got some nostalgia right here. We got Deadpool and Wolverine. I am a huge Marvel fan, and from the moment this movie started, I was smiling from ear to ear. Ryan Reynolds does it once again, proving that he is literally this character and nobody else can play it. And that's exactly how I feel with Wolverine coming in as well. Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. No one, in my opinion, will be able to top Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Just the jokes, the cameos, the feeling of we're actually going somewhere with the MCU now. And by all means, I feel like this movie definitely saved the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a sense, because let's be honest, it's been rough since Tony Stark passed away. I had such a fun time with this movie. I was laughing, I was crying, I was joyful. Just everything that I wanted in a comic book movie, I basically got. At the end of the day, I really hope that we get more Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, and I really hope that we get Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Till you're 90. And before we get into that number 1 movie of 2024, hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. We're just trying to give the people what they want with these reviews. And with that being said, the number 1 film that I literally thought I was not even going to review, I was not going to see it, I didn't even have this movie on my radar, but I'm so glad that I seen it, was The Wild Robot. If you don't know anything about this movie, go into it blind just like I did, because it's going to pay off extremely for you. But I must say, before you see it, definitely grab the box of tissues, because you're definitely going to be leaking out of your eye holes. The animation was perfect. All I'm going to tell you is either a plane or a ship crashes and these high-tech robots get destroyed. Well, one of them obviously does not get destroyed, and that's where we go. She's internally programmed to do certain things. Well, she starts not being internally programmed anymore, and she starts actually having a voice for herself. This movie plays on so many emotions: motherhood, the fear of being outcast in your tribe, all those things bundled up into one package. I had such a blast with this film, and I'm so glad that I've seen it because I would watch this movie again and again. And guys, those are my top 5 movies of the year. There were so many others that could have definitely been on this list, and I'm not going to lie, I sat there for about 30 minutes trying to weasel it down. But let me know in the comments what your favorite movie of 2024 is, and let's discuss it. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you in the next one.